Hey there lads and ladies, I'm Smith Kingston, houseplant guru extraordinaire. Now I realize that it's probably pretty hard for anyone to imagine these two leggy leafy goddesses being any more gorgeous than they already are. But listen, if you're ready to see the beautification of these two bulbous leafy bitches, then stick the f around, because Thomas Baker, Toby McSchmuter, the strikingly attractive Lady Space Cowgirl and I are fit to get into all that shit. Alrighty then, these two potted pippins here are named Toni and Marsha. I've been keeping them both for years, and Marsha here is actually a cutting that I propagated from Toni back in the spring of 2019. These two bulbous leafy beauties belong to the species known scientifically as Graptopetalum paraguayense and known commonly as mother of pearl plant or ghost plant. And yeah, like duh, from this point onwards, I'm gonna refer to both these lovely leafy lasses as ghost plants, because ghost stuff is rad as f***. I mean, for real, who doesn't love all things ghost related? Shh! Now, while both Toni and Marsha have survived the last couple years and really do look dashing, I'm gonna open up about a couple of things, because as beautiful as these two lovely leafy leggy lasses appear to be, shh! They're actually not doing real great right now. Let me explain. While these containers are large enough for this size of ghost plant, I potted both Toni and Marsha into very loosely packed cactus mix, which has settled over the years, giving the soil in both of these containers a very limited capacity for moisture retention. And that has made it pretty fucking difficult to keep these sweet salty succulent sisters sufficiently saturated. Here's the thing though. Our real problem has to do with, you guessed it, sunlight. Marsha here has been kept in a south-facing window, and during wintertime when the sun is low in the sky, that window receives more than enough direct sunlight to keep Marsha looking fit as a fucking fiddle. But during the summer months when the sun is higher in the sky, that window gets shaded by the eaves of the house and receives significantly less light. And during those months, Marsha has tended to drop lots of leaves and get stretched out or etiolated. I've been keeping Toni here under an artificial grow lamp, and while the light from that lamp is perfect for Toni's aloe vera roommates, it's not quite intense enough to keep Toni as healthy as she would be if she had been kept under this lamp. And for that reason, Toni's leaves are smaller than Marsha's and are spaced even farther apart. Today though, that's all about to change. That's right, lads and ladies of the internet. Over the course of the next several minutes, these sassy, classy broads are fit to get the makeover of a lifetime. And I personally have resolved to do a little bit better as far as keeping these two lovely leafy ladies, as well as the posterity that we plan to hack away from them here in just a little bit, in more suitable containers and in much better lighting. Before we get started on any of that though, first, we gotta get our shit together. So yeah, the tools necessary for a ghost plant makeover are a magical paintbrush, a clean sharp cutting tool, preferably pruning shears, some containers, a quick draining potting soil, preferably a cactus mix, and all the necessary sundries for potting these little ghosty goddesses once Toni and Marsha get lovingly beheaded. Yeah, lovingly. You'll see why later, but I prefer to use a soup spoon, a serving spoon, and a magical paintbrush. Oh, and if you've got any available real estate left on a succulent leaf propagation tray, then maybe grab the tray too. Okie dokie then, now that we've got our shit together, I guess it's off with their heads? Yeah, lovingly. Okay, now while it would be much easier to just chop off and pot all the little ghost plant rosettes, I kinda want Toni and Marsha to survive their beheading. I guess that's what makes this a makeover and not an execution. So yeah, in order to increase the odds that these classy broads survive this makeover, we're gonna take our cuttings in such a way that the mother plants are left with hopefully enough leaves to photosynthesize some quick growth in order to speed up their recovery. In Marsha's case, I'm not really worried at all, since we're actually gonna leave an entire rosette intact here at the base of her plant. I'm a little bit less optimistic about Toni's survival, though I'm still like 84% sure that she'll be just fine. Since her leaves are so much smaller, we're gonna leave a lot more of them attached. I'm hoping that today's beheading will trigger some new growth near the base of Toni's stem. That would be pretty cool. But all the adventitious roots near the tips of these two stems seem to indicate that any growth triggered by today's makeover will probably happen pretty far up her stems. We'll see though. Now that we've chopped the tops off these sweet ghosty ladies, it's time to get what's left of them out of their current containers and into something a little bit more comfortable. Listen, I watered Toni and Marsha 3 days ago, which is great news as far as the survival of the cuttings is concerned, but it makes the repotting of their root balls a lot more risky. Because the moisture surrounding their root systems greatly increases the risks of subterranean complications in the event of root trauma, we're going to need to be very careful not to disturb either of their root systems any more than is absolutely necessary. Alrighty, that takes care of Toni and Marsha. Now let's prep some homes for these fresh cut sweet little ghosty babies. First, let's pack some cactus mix into as many containers as we think we'll need. And yeah, you did hear me correctly, I said to pack the soil. I know that might go against some succulent care counsel you may have heard elsewhere, but listen, as long as we water these future plants correctly, even well-packed cactus mix will drain more than quickly enough to protect the future roots of our fresh cut friends from moisture-related complications. Also, let's not forget the horrific slew of problems that Toni and Marsha have had to deal with over the course of the last several years due to the fact that they were potted into loosely packed cactus mix. Also, it's worth noting that not just these, but all of the containers we're using today are draining containers, because we're not stupid ass dumb shit who do shit like fucking around with non-draining containers. Oh, hey, thanks, GabMonster. Yeah, I really like these.
There's like the other one. Oh shit. No, I noticed. Yeah, I.
Yeah. I'm shooting a video later. Do you want to,
No.
Okay, before potting these little baby rosettes into their own containers, we need to remove some leaves in order to expose about an inch of leaf-free stem on each of these sweet little ghosties. While an inch of stem is ideal, more or less is okay. Really, the trick is to find a balance between leaving enough leaves on the rosette to fuel the photosynthesis of a root system, but exposing enough stem to anchor the plant into the soil and I guess also send out a root system. And since we've got a leaf propagation tray already set up, why not add some ghosty leaves to spook things up a bit? Now let's grab our magical paintbrush, use it to summon the containers that we just packed with cactus mix, and get these sweet little ghost babies potted into their freshly prepared home. I recommend jabbing the paintbrush down into the soil in order to sort of prepare a path for the stem of the recently decapitated ghost rosette, and then once you've got your cuttings potted, jab the brush into the soil a few extra times in order to ensure that the soil gets nestled right up against the freshly de-leaved subterranean stems. If you have trouble finding a magical paintbrush, you can always use a regular one, though many people prefer to use chopsticks or other utensils. Check it out, lads and ladies. I know, right? Lovely. Just lovely. Listen. Over the course of the next couple weeks, I'm going to slowly acclimate Toni and Marsha to the light produced by this lamp. The retina-scorching artificial ultraviolet radiation produced by this lamp should have these two classy sassy broads leafed up and lovely in no time. Also, the beheadings that Toni and Marsha just underwent are probably gonna trigger some new growth. And if that growth appears near the base of the plants, we'll be able to trim away these stems once that growth has been established. Not that the stems are, unsightly or anything. And as for the little ghosties, for now, we're going to keep these fresh potted root-free friends in the brightest indirect sunlight we can find. Light of that intensity will be bright enough to fuel the photosynthesis of new roots on these ghost babies, but won't be intense enough to dry these ghosties out before they've had a chance to root down. And then, in 3 weeks, all the subterranean wounds that these little ghosties have sustained, down under.
Oh my gosh.
will have scarred over. And it's likely that by then, these little ghosties will also have produced some roots as well. So it is then that we will give them their first watering. And if a few days after that watering, their leaves appear to be less wrinkly and more swole, we'll know that they have in fact developed a root system. And from there, we'll slowly acclimate them into the same lighting as Toni and Marsha. As far as naming these little ghosty lads and ladies is concerned, I'm gonna leave that up to you. So yeah, if you've got a suggestion, let me know in the comments. And if the name fits, I'll make it official and give you a shout out on Instagram. Hey, listen, do you like bad graffiti, worse jokes, wacky macrame, and pretty good advice about taking care of your houseplants? Well then f***ing subscribe. Thanks, Lady Space Cowgirl. That's right, click that notification bell too so you never miss a new video.